What if I told you there's a secret, a so-called loophole that companies claim they can save you tens and thousands of dollars in sales tax on your next RV?
They promise you can set up a company in a state you've never ever been to, buy your dream rig completely tax-free, and ride off into the sunset.
It's called the Montana LLC strategy. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this entire industry and show you what they're selling isn't just a bad idea, it could be a felony. Hey everyone, I'm John.
And I am Rhonda.
And this is our new front porch, where we share the real, unfiltered stories of the RV life, the good, the bad, and legally questionable. We get this question constantly. How do I avoid paying a fortune in sales tax on an RV? It's a huge expense. You save up for years to find the perfect rig, and then bam, the government wants another $10, $15, even $20,000. It's soul crushing.
And when you start searching for a solution, you inevitably find it. Slick websites with names like Montana Corporate Services or Tax-Free RV, all promising the same thing. Form an LLC in Montana and all your tax problems disappear.
The sales pitch is incredibly seductive. They say since Montana has no sales tax, an LLC corporation formed there is a Montana resident. Your LLC can buy the RV tax-free. They handle all the paperwork, send you a Montana license plate, and you're good to go. It sounds perfect.
But it's not. I was so frustrated when I first dug into these because it feels like a trap disguised as a solution. This video is our promise to you. By the end of it, you'll understand exactly why this strategy is so dangerous, how states are cracking down on it, and the severe penalties you could face.
And most importantly, we're going to show you the right way to legally save thousands on taxes and RV ownership. A strategy that is safe, sustainable, and you won't have to be looking over your shoulder every time you see a state trooper. So to understand why this is such a minefield, we first have to understand why it's so tempting. The process these companies sell is designed to be incredibly easy. Step one, you hire a registered agent in Montana. This is a company with a physical address there that can agree to handle your mail and legal paperwork. They charge you a fee, usually around $1,000 for the whole setup.
Their main job is to file the Articles of Organization for you. This is a document that officially creates your new company. Let's call it Wandering Pines LLC. The key here is that under Montana law, Wandering Pines LLC is now considered a Montana resident.
Now, for the magic trick, you go to an RV dealership anywhere in the country and you can buy your RV, but you don't have to buy it. Your new Montana LLC buys it. The bill of sale, the title, everything is under the LLC's name because the buyer is a Montana resident and Montana has no sales tax. No sales tax paid at the dealership.
And this is the first practical hurdle, financing. Most banks will still not give a six-figure loan to a brand new LLC with no assets or credit history. It's a huge red flag for them. So to get the loan, they will almost always make you, the individual, personally guarantee it.
Right. So right off the bat, one of the supposed benefits of an LLC is protecting your personal assets is gone, at least for the loan. But let's say you get past that. You send the title paperwork to your agent in Montana. They register it with the Montana DMV, and a few weeks later, a fresh set of Montana license plates arrive in your mailbox.
And for an extra fee, many of these services offer anonymous registration, where your personal name does not appear on any of the public documents. It creates this illusion of being a ghost, completely off the grid. Even Jazzy is bored by the paperwork. But the point is, from the outside, it looks clean. You saved maybe $12,000 on a $150,000 rig, You avoid a trip to your local DMV, and you have a shiny new license plate. What could possibly go wrong?
As it turns out, everything. The problem isn't what happens in Montana. The problem starts the second your tires cross state lines.
This is the most important part of the entire video. This is where we have to talk about the difference between two very important words: tax avoidance and tax evasion.
Tax avoidance is legal. It's using the law as it is written to reduce your tax bill. A perfect example: contributing to a 401k, you're legally deferring your income tax. No problem there.
Tax evasion is illegal. It involves deceit or concealing facts to avoid paying taxes you legally owe. And that brings us to the linchpin of the state's argument against the Montana LLC scheme, the use tax.
You've probably never heard of a use tax, but every state has a sales tax, also called the use tax. They are two sides of the same coin.
Let me put it to you this way. Your home state, let's say it's California. Know that people might try to buy expensive things in states without sales tax, like Oregon or Montana, to skip out on California's tax. The state does not care where your RV is registered. The Montana plate is irrelevant. Their only question is, where is the RV being used and garaged?
The Montana LLC companies try to create this fiction that the LLC owns and uses the RV, but the state isn't dumb. They know a legal entity can't sleep at a motorhome. You're using it, you, the resident of their state. The LLC is just a shell, a fig leaf. It's an act of subterfuge designed to conceal the fact that a resident is evading their tax obligation. That's the textbook definition of tax evasion.
Now, some people point to a court case from 2014, Thomas versus Bridges in Louisiana, as proof that this is legal. In that case, the guy with the Montana LLC actually won against the state. But this is a classic example of a red herring, a total misdirection.
The only reason he won is because the state of Louisiana couldn't prove the RV was ever actually used in Louisiana. The owner had its garage in a third state, Mississippi. The case wasn't about the LLC being legal. It was about the state failing to prove its case.
The Louisiana Supreme Court scolded the state for doing a bad job and practically begged the legislature to close the loophole. And the legal fees to fight that case all the way to the Supreme Court almost certainly cost more than $30,000 in the tax he was trying to avoid. It is a terrible example to base your financial freedom on.
So the foundation is a sham. It's not a loophole. It's a trap. And states are getting very good at springing that trap. So how do you get caught? The people selling this want you to believe you're a ghost, invisible. You're not. In fact, the Montana plate on the expensive RV makes you a giant glowing target.
The number one way people get caught is a simple traffic stop. A state trooper in Colorado pulls over a shiny new motorhome with Montana plates. He walks up to the window and you hand him your Texas driver's license. But the most surefire way is data. States audit RV dealers. They share information with each other, and they can legally subpoena the customer lists from the Montana LLC companies themselves. They can get a list with your name, address, and the VIN of your RV. There is no hiding.
Okay, so they catch you. What happens? You just pay the tax you owe and it's over, right? Not even close. This is where it's financially going to destroy you.
First, you will owe the original use tax. Let us say it was $10,000. On top of that, they will add interest calculated from the day you bought the RV. Then come the late payment penalties, which can be 10% or more. But the killer is the specific penalty for fraud.
Let's look at California. They have a special penalty of 50% of the tax due just registering a vehicle out of state to evade taxes. So your $10,000 tax bill is now $10,000 base tax interest, let's say $1,000, penalties, let's say 1,000, and 5,000 evasion penalty, a total of $17,000.
And California is being nice. Let's talk about Florida. Their penalty for a fraudulent claim can be 200% of the tax owed. Your $10,000 tax bill in Florida could become a $30,000 liability plus interest and other fees. This is not a slap on the wrist. These penalties are designed to be punitive. They are designed to ruin you financially so no one else tries it.
And we're still just talking about money. We haven't even mentioned the C word, criminal charges. Willful tax evasion is a felony in many states. In California, if you tax evade, it is over $25,000. It's a felony punished by up to 3 years in prison, a massive fine.
Think about that. You take some slick advice from a website to save a little money, and you could end up with a criminal record that follows you for the rest of your life. All because you tried to skip out on a tax bill. The risk versus reward is insane.
Okay, let's say you're a gambler and you think you can beat the odds, not get caught by the tax man. Even then, Montana's strategy is a dangerous waiting to happen because one thing for sure, insurance.
This might be the single biggest flaw in the whole scheme. Insurance premiums are based on risk, and the biggest factor is that the risk is where the vehicle is garaged. An RV parked in rural Montana has a very different risk profile than one parked in Miami or Los Angeles.
So you have two choices when you try to insure your Montana LLC owned RV. Both are terrible. Option one is ULON. You call an insurance company, tell them your RV is owned by your Montana LLC and that it's garaged in Montana. You're committing insurance fraud. You might get a policy and a cheap rate, but you have zero actual protection.
Let's say you get into an accident and it's a bad one. The RV is totaled. The first thing the insurance adjuster will do is investigate. They will see the accident that happened in Arizona. The police report lists your home address is in Arizona. They will see you have been posting on social media from Arizona for months. They will discover the material misrepresentation about your garaging location. And they will have every legal right to deny your claim entirely and cancel your policy. You get nothing for your totaled RV. You are on the hook for all the damages and injuries to other parties, and you still have to pay off your RV loan. You could be financially wiped out by one single incident.
Okay, so lying is a terrible idea. What about option two, telling the truth? You call an insurance agent and explain the whole situation. Hi, I have a Montana LLC that my LLC owns the RV, but I live in Texas and that's where I keep it.
Good luck with that. First, most major carriers will not touch it. It's too weird and complicated. You will have to go to a specialized high-risk insurer. Second, they will have to write you a commercial policy, not a personal one, which is always way more expensive. The extra cost of the proper legal insurance policy will often eat up most of the sales tax savings you were trying to get.
So you either commit fraud or risk total financial ruin, or you pay a fortune for legitimate policies that neglects the whole point of the scheme. It's a lose-lose situation. I know it's been a lot doom and gloom, but now we get to a good part. There's 100% legal, safe, and incredible effective way for full-time RVers to save a fortune.
It's not a sneaky loophole. It's about legally changing your domicile. Your domicile is your one true legal home base. It is the state where you have your driver's license, where you vote, and where you register your vehicles. And you could choose where it is.
For RVers, there's 3 states that are the holy trinity of domicile because none of them have a state income tax. South Dakota, Texas, and Florida.
Changing your domicile is a real process. You have to actively sever ties with your old state and forge new ones with a new state. This means getting a new driver's license, registering your vehicles there, getting a local mailing address, moving bank accounts, and so on. You have to prove your intent to make that state your home.
Let us compare them. Texas, no income tax, but it has a higher vehicle sales tax and requires an annual vehicle inspection, which is a pain for travelers. Florida, no income tax and no vehicle inspections, which is great. The process is just a bit more involved. South Dakota. This is the golden standard for many RVers. No income tax, no vehicle inspections, and they make the process incredibly easy. You only need to prove you stayed in the state for one night to get your driver's license.
Let us go back to our $150,000 RV. If you become a legal resident of South Dakota, you will have to pay their one-time vehicle excise tax. It's 4%. So you would pay $6,000.
Now, I know what you're thinking. $6,000 is more than zero. Yes, but $6,000 paid legally with a clear conscience, you get a valid title and registration. You can get an affordable, proper insurance, and you never have to worry about state troopers or tax audit again. Compared to a high state tax where you paid $15,000, you're still saving $9,000 legally.
This is the real secret. Not trying to trick the system, but using the system as it was designed. Choose a home base that aligns with your mobile lifestyle. That is how you achieve true financial freedom on the road. We have one final quick warning, and this is for those of us who run a business from your RV. The Montana LLC scheme is even more dangerous for you. It creates a legal nightmare called Nexus.
Nexus means that you are conducting business in a state, even just working from your laptop in your RV. That state can require business to register and pay taxes.
By creating a fake business in Montana to own your own RV, you are muddying the waters. If you are working in California for 2 months, California could argue that your Montana business is now operating in their state, triggering a whole new set of tax filings and fees. You're trying to solve one problem and accidentally creating 5 more for your actual legitimate business. It's just not worth it.
So after all of this, what's our final recommendation? It's simple. Do not use the Montana LLC strategy. The risk is astronomical and the reward is an illusion.
The companies selling this product are selling you a ticket to a potential financial and legal disaster. They take your $1,000 and leave you to shoulder 100% of the risk.
The aha moment for us was realizing that true freedom isn't about finding a sneaky loophole. It's about understanding the rules and building a solid legal foundation for your life on the road. The peace of mind that comes from knowing you're done things the right way is priceless.
We want you to be empowered. We want you to save money, but we want you to do it smartly and safely. Take the time, do the research, establish a legal domicile in a state that works for you, pay their taxes, and then travel with the confidence that you are protected.
One final and very important point. We are not lawyers or financial advisors. This video is for educational purposes based on our own extensive research. When it comes to forming an LLC or legal purchasing an RV through one, always seek advice from a qualified professional attorney and a CPA in the relevant states. They can help you navigate your specific situation and ensure you're making a sound legal decision. We know this was a heavy topic, and we really want to build a community of smart, savvy RVers, our road crew. So we have a question for you. Have you ever been tempted by the Montana LLC scheme Or do you know someone who tried it?
Or if you have established a domicile in a state like South Dakota, Florida, or Texas, share your experience in the comments below. Your story could be the one that saves someone else from making a huge mistake.
And if this video provided you with real value, if it helped you dodge a bullet, please do a huge favor and hit that button. It tells YouTube that this is important information and it helps us make more content just like it.
Do not forget to subscribe to our new front porch so you don't miss any of our future investigations and adventures. Well, John, adventure is calling.
Well, we'll see you on the road, and we must go.